Hi, it's Alaska Granny. There can be dire circumstances or adventure that could cause you to need to live in your car. What if you suddenly became homeless? What if you want to be a digital nomad? Maybe you've even had to evacuate your home in an emergency. There are certain supplies that would make your ability to live in your car a possibility. Let's go over some of the basic items that you would need if you had to live in your car. You would start with just basic prepping supplies. Think of all the categories that you already need to live in your home, and those are the same kind of categories that you're going to want to have to live in your car, but on a much smaller scale. Figure out how you could put down the seats, how you could make a spot that would be adequate for you to have your supplies and to have a place to lie down and sleep. Next, you need your bed. So maybe you want a sleeping bag, maybe you have a sleeping mat or a pad, maybe you even have something like a yoga mat that you could put that down and roll up in some comfy warm blankets. So decide what it is that you want. So you want to probably have something that is comfortable and that can stay all around you. So a sleeping bag usually works well for that. But if you like to kick your legs around and you don't want to be struggling with a bag, then perhaps you want to have a nice comfortable quilt. And it gets very cold, the quilt doesn't stay around you like a sleeping bag. A sleeping bag makes a little nest around you and holds all the heat in, so it can actually be much better if you're out in cold weather. You can always take an extra blanket and you can make a sleeping bag liner. I'll put a link to a video I made about how you can make a simple sleeping bag liner. It gives you extra warmth. It also helps keep your sleeping bag clean, which nobody wants to sleep in a dirty bag. So figuring out ways to stay clean can really be important. One of the coolest things that I found for car camping was this umbrella looking car windshield pop-up shade. And I think it's amazing. It folds down just like an umbrella, but then you unravel it and you pop it up. And look at the shape of it. It goes clear over the windshield of your car. It's huge. It's the shape of the rectangular windshield. It's hard to see in here because the thing is so big, but it really works. It doesn't weigh very much. And then when you're done shading your windshield, you just fold it back up like an umbrella. And it's amazing because it just stays in place. Those big folding accordion things, they can be a real hassle. And then they're still big when you want to put them away. So I have been enjoying this as a windshield shade. So look for creative ways also to black out your windows, whether you want to put up little curtains or you want to put something over the window. Look for the car sunshade umbrella. I'll put a link to this where I got it on Amazon, and it's fantastic. It's huge, fits the car windshield great. It really keeps the heat out. And look how easy it folds up and down. This has been something that's been a game changer for me when I want to go out in my car. In nearly every situation, we need water, and if you're going car camping, you might consider buying a long rectangular water container because the big square ones are so bulky. They take up so much big square room, where I found that this type of a water container is better because you can slip it just on one side of the car, and then if you need to sleep in the car, you can sleep on one side and you can have your gear, including your water, on the other side. And this type of a container works well. I also like this one because it has an easy to carry handle. You can use it this way or this way, but if you put it this way, it has a spout that you can pour the water out easily with a little spigot on this when it's down on your picnic table. Or you can put it up this way if you want. But it's not the great big squares, which can be very cumbersome and hard to maneuver if you're trying to fit everything into your car. Besides a warm sleeping bag, you want to make sure that you have some warm clothes, some layers, things like a hat and some gloves and maybe even a scarf. And if it's going to be cold at night, You can even get a hot water bottle. You fill it up with warm water and put it in your sleeping bag, and it can help keep you warm all night long. Hand warmers are also a great idea. These are little chemical packets, and you snap them and shake them, and they create several hours of warmth. You can put them in your pocket, hence they're called hand warmers. They make some that are body warmers that you can put in the core of your body. There's also some foot warmers, and these are also great. You can stick them right into your sleeping bag and help make it warm in your sleeping bag. Once you have your water figured out, you need to decide about your food. Camping food should be simple and easy. You don't want to have a great big hard-sided cooler, but you can, depending on how you're planning to use your space. If you're going to be staying in your car, you want to try soft-sided things. You can get an insulated picnic type cooler, and then you can stuff your cold food in here, and then you can nestle it down even in the footwells in the back seat of the car, and then you can have your other gear fitting on top. When you have the big hard-sided things like a cooler or the water jug, they're very hard to navigate where they fit. But if you use soft-sided containers, then it's going to be much easier to maneuver things around. But you have to decide, how long am I going to be gone, and what are the parameters of the space that I have. You can also put your dry foods in another soft-sided bag, and then you can have those. They're easy to figure out where to stick them into nooks and crannies in the car, rather than having a great big box, a bin, or a hard-sided container. So think about how you're going to be using your space when you're deciding on how you're going to pack your car. Because space might be limited, I got a small Coleman Peak 1 stove. You can get much bigger ones, but it can be as simple as a 1-burner stove with the fuel that goes with it. So get the size that fits the space that you're going to have. Then you want to make sure you have your fuel to go with your stove and the matches you need to light it and to light your campfires. Have some type of a simple can opener. You can even try the military P38 or P51s, I think they're called. I'll put a link to a video I made about how to use the P38 and the P51 and how you would use those to open a can. There's something that came from the military, and maybe if you were ever in Scouts, you had one of those and they taught you how to use it. Have some simple, sturdy outdoor cookware. You can find little pots, little mess kits, sturdy silverware, things that you can use not only for cooking, but you can also eat out of them. Especially if it's just you, you may want to have some plastic dishes or some paper plates. Figure out what fits the space you have and also what works with your budget. Next, you probably want some kind of flashlights or headlamps. You can get wind-up lanterns. You can get simple headlamps. I like the small USB flashlights because you can plug these in even in your car and charge them up if you have the USB capability, which most of our cars do. And then you'll have even a tiny little flashlight will help. Have a few extras simply because they get dropped under the seat of the car or they get lost in the night and you want to be able to find the things you need when it's dark. Something that I like to do when I tent camp is I bring along a few of the solar lights and then I put them where the guidelines are so that people don't trip on them in the night. It also helps you find where your tent is if you go out to, say, use the restroom in the middle of the night. You can find where your vehicle or your tent is just with a simple light from, say, even the Dollar Tree. Include extra batteries that fit your flashlights. Get a substantial first aid kit. I found this one recently and it's really neat because it's a sport essential first aid kit, and it even comes in a dry bag so that it's a dry container, it's soft-sided, it can squeeze into a nook and cranny. It has all kinds of components in it, but I really like that it's in a dry bag. You roll over the top, clip it together, and all of your contents stay safe and dry, even if you end up out in the rain. And it's in a manageable container that can fit just about anywhere in your car. I also have a basic water filter because you just never know when fresh water may not be available and you want to have pure water to drink. So whatever kind of water filter you have, whether it's a Life straw, have some sort of a way to purify water, because you just never know what conditions the water might be where you go. Consider no wild water safe to drink. You don't really know where it's come from, what's upstream from there, or who was there just before you. Next, think about hygiene. Bring a roll of toilet paper. 1 per person is what I do when I camp with a group. Everybody gets theirs in their own Ziploc bag. You're responsible to make yours last. I also like to put in a few extra just trash bags for disposal of your toilet paper. Have some baby wipes so that you can stay clean. And one tip that I have is to get a spray bottle. You can put vinegar and water in the spray bottle, and you can use that to spray off and then wipe off your dishes where running water is in short supply. I'll put a link to a video I made about how to wash dishes with very little water. Don't forget your toiletries, just like at home. You want a comb, a toothbrush, toothpaste, lotion, bug spray, sunscreen, all of those things that you would need. Have them together in some sort of a container that can seal up so they stay together and they're not lost under the seat of the car or dropped into the dirt when you're getting in and out. Organize your clothes and your gear into soft-sided duffel bags, because you can just squish them around together. The better you organize your belongings into soft-sided containers, you can figure out how to maneuver them around in the car. You have no idea how much easier this is and how much more you can put in the car and have your things together. You can even go to, say, the Dollar Tree and get some of these little collapsible boxes, and they're soft-sided. You can put your clothes in them, you could put some food in them, you could put all different kind of things in them, and then even fold them up and put them away if you don't need to use them for something today. One of the tips I have is I bring an empty coffee bag, because these are pretty much airtight, and you can put stinky garbage in these and fold it over, and that can help not only keep your area smelling better, but if you're in an area where there's critters, you want to be extremely careful that you don't have food odors around for them to come and want to get in things. So this is one of the tips that I try to keep the garbage together, but then as soon as possible you want to dispose of it properly. Get some kind of little brush or broom so that you can sweep out your car, keep your things clean as possible, and then try not to have all your muddy shoes directly into the car. You can even get a simple doormat and put it out, then take your shoes off and on the mat so that it keeps some of the dirt out of your car. You probably don't want to store your shoes out there, but you might in some circumstances. But that at least lets you get into the car. Even take then your little broom and sweep the dirt off your shoes before you bring them into your car. Think about extra tools. Have a pocket knife, some paracord. Duct tape is good for any excursion. And then try to think creatively. What do I have that I can put together that I could actually go out and camp in my car and enjoy the time that I have, experiencing the wonders of the world? One more essential item you might want to have if you needed to live in your car is a portable toilet. I made a video before about this folding portable toilet that could be just the thing to have in your car. I'll put a link to that video in case you want to learn more about it. So leave a comment. Tell us what are the items that you think are essential if you're going to go car camping, or even if you want to live in your car for a while. There are a lot of possibilities and tips and tricks that we can learn from each other. So let's share so that we help make every single day we have be the best it can be. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.